I am. I'm ready.
This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Trout Routes. Trout Routes is a premier fishing app that strives to empower trout anglers with information to help you go further and discover new waters, new places, and new faces. Check them out at troutroutes.com. Trout Routes is proud to be able to connect you to local resources and experts, such as fly shops, guides, local brands, and nonprofits. Be sure to check them out at troutroutes.com or the Apple App Store and Google Play Store to download the app today.
Folks, welcome to another episode of On the Limb podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls, where deer camp becomes a reality for every listener. Join us as we talk God, family, country, and everything outdoors. Kick back, relax, and have a listen. Now, here's your host and co-host, Mike and Dan.
Welcome back, everyone.
That's right.
We had a little technical difficulty this evening, but we got her going now.
That's right. We always have something. It never fails.
Yeah, you have that when you're working with technology.
That's right.
So we got, we're going to be talking with Tom Kessel here in a little bit with Hiland Outfitters out in Hiland, Wyoming. We're taking a trip starting in the morning. We're venturing west.
Go west, young man. Isn't that what they say?
I was talking to a buddy of mine at work today, and I was thinking about, I was like, can you remember that cartoon, Five Goes West?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, golly.
That goes back a ways.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep thinking about us going west, and I was like, yeah, that reminds me of that
that's
cartoon.
Funny, talking about that, I showed the kids. You remember Fraggle Rock?
Mm-hmm.
I showed the kids that. They're like,
oh, yeah.
You used to watch this?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Absolutely. This was a great cartoon.
That's classic,
It
man.
is. It is.
So we got good amount of birds hitting the ground here in West Virginia.
We do.
Kentucky, people's hunting in Ohio.
Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, all around us they're hunting.
North Carolina, I believe, is already in. South Carolina.
I think it's been in.
North Carolina may have been in since last weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
But, yeah, I mean, I've gotten pictures on my phone from youth, killing birds. Just different people that's purchased off of us sending us, pictures of birds and stuff. Jacob Hoff.
Yeah.
He killed one in Ohio, and then he got one here in West Virginia as well. So he texted me some pictures this morning. He got one this morning.
Nice.
He got to get away from that new baby he's got.
Nice.
That's keeping him busy.
Yeah, no doubt. For sure they do.
Yep. So, so we're going, we're leaving early in the morning.
Very.
Very, very early in the morning.
It's a 23-plus hour drive.
Yeah. So
plus, we got to stop in Missouri.
That's definitely going to be.
We got to drop a camper off.
An excursion.
we got to stop off in Missouri, drop my camper off, because as soon as we get back from this, I go back to work.
Yep.
So, but yeah, like I said, guys, don't forget, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. We're there. Be sure to listen to all our past and present episodes and the new ones coming out. And also, don't forget to use Podcast 10 at checkout with outdoor-pro-shop.com for 10% off your order at checkout.
Speaking of Outdoor Pro Shop, we got to give a big shout out to them.
Huge shout out. Absolutely.
So, Moose Maine Kids has a youth hunt coming up. Can't remember what they call it. It's like the youth extravaganza hunt or something like that.
Yeah, turkey-wise.
But we got we collaborated with Outdoor Pro Shop, and they donated 410 for one of the kids, and we donated a 410 for one of the kids.
Yes.
So they have two 410s. One of the kids has cerebral palsy.
Yes.
So Moose Maine Kids, if you don't know, they take out kids with disabilities and kids that are underprivileged that don't have people to take them out hunting.
I'll tell you what, they do a yearly. They do a lottery. I think it's like 300 tickets. I can't remember. It's limited, so it's pretty decent chances to win. I think it's $100 a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
But that gives you a chance to be drawn for a moose hunt.
Oh, yeah.
And it helps. All that money they raise helps them kids, helps them to do that.
Yeah.
So it's huge for them.
It's an awesome thing. So thankful, very thankful for Kevin at outdoor-pro-shop.com for helping us out there with that and getting that collaborated. And we worked with an FFL up there in Maine to get them transferred to him, and it was awesome. I mean, everything worked out good. Had a couple kinks in the system because – we'd been looking for 410s, and everybody, 410s is getting big.
Yes, they are.
Back into the turkey world. So all the Stevens were gone. There was another one that we were planning on getting was like a JTS or something like that.
Could have got no Ryan.
I don't think he sells those.
The Weatherby Orion? Oh, man, that's a good gun.
Well, you're talking about a donation here.
Oh, that's right.
Not a giveaway. We're not talking about a Ducks Unlimited banquet giveaway.
Oh, that's right.
They're a $900 gun.
1,000. They shoot good. I
mean, not to say that the guns that we got donated was junk.
Right.
But you don't need a $900 gun.
No, this is for the kids. They're going to beat them up.
But, I mean, single shot 410,
that's all you need.
what my son started on, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the one that we got, Eric, one of our pro staffers in Maine, Eric Gagnon, was talking about. He's got a 20 gauge made by these people, ATS or something like that is the brand. So, but it's a breakdown, so you can actually, it's awesome for the kids because it actually breaks all the way down.
Sweet.
And
you
for
sent
them
me
to carry
pictures
stuff
of what we was doing. So, yeah, that was nice.
All right, so let's get on. We'll talk about.
Big shout out to
Backwater Truck
Supply.
We're taking this big excursion, so you needed to make some.
Yeah, I needed some
normal maintenance, anyways.
Normal maintenance. I needed some shocks and stuff, anyhow, and went down and he hooked me up, got me shock stabilizer, put some brakes on, and I asked him. I had a question for him. I said, "Hey, can you figure out what's wrong with my truck? It's not throwing a code, but it's showing like my charging system." He pulled it up and he looked, and they was like, "Well, you got one battery's bad." He said, "It's within warranty. I'll get you hooked up." He said, "I'll help you with warranty on the battery claim there." So, great guys to work with, man. They will treat you right.
They definitely take care of you. They're one of the places that you can go, and what they tell you is what they're going to do.
Yep. And it's just a good environment. They'll sit there while they're working. They can BS with you and just tell you, "Hey, look, you might want to think about this." He said, "You're good on this, but you might want to be thinking about it."
And they got the coffee pot brewing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So sit there and drink some coffee and. Good.
Yeah. Funny thing, my wife, she said, "Oh, you getting your nails done?" Because it comes up as his wife's salon,
the beauty shop right there beside it. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really come up as Backwater. It comes up I guess you're looking at the map. It comes up as the beauty salon.
That's funny.
I said, "Yeah, I'm getting a mani-pedi."
You gotta have one of those going to Wyoming.
That's right. Gotta show them turkeys what's up.
Yeah. All right. So Tom is not any stranger to the show. We've had him on plenty of times. They're an ad partner of ours. So without further ado, please welcome Tom Kessel with Hiland Outfitters. Tom, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you guys this evening?
Oh, we're doing great. Dan's even got your shirt on over here. Good Lord. What's gotten into him?
You gotta represent. They're going to be treating us well here shortly.
So how's it going out there in Wyoming? You went and visited the ranch there that we're going to, and maybe possibly spotted some birds.
We were up there this weekend looking around. Season actually opened on the 20th.
Okay.
The rancher has some things going on there, their cabin, and we kind of like to let the birds not be as henned up. So I usually don't start until about 5 days after the season. It's private land, so we're not having to worry about any pressure on there. So things were looking good. We saw some birds from the cabins, and everything's looking good. And they were actually pretty vocal in the afternoon, so they were fired up.
Perfect. Now, like I know West Virginia, we got to be out of the woods by 1. What's your guys' regulations on that?
We can hunt all day long.
All day long.
All day.
Yep.
Gosh.
Yeah, we're usually out, grab a cup of coffee, be out before daylight. Depends on the birds, what they're doing. Hunt 9, 10, 11, come in and do some breakfast then and kick back and BS and enjoy camp for a few hours and go back out about 3 in the afternoon. That's kind of, our plan for every day to do that way. There's times that, the birds are kind of quiet in the morning and we're decided to come back to the cabins or something. They may fire up at 11 o'clock and we ended up hunting all day. But most generally, that's our game plan.
Sure.
So we've never hunted these Merriams, obviously, but I hear that they're not that hard to hunt, and you cannot overcall to these birds.
I personally think you can overcall. I don't know what it is, if it's the elevation, thinner air. I think a guy's a lot of times here call too loud.
Okay.
It seems like we don't have the dense forest that you have right there.
Yeah.
That's muffling the sound. But no, they're probably the most vocal of the Rios or Easterns that I've hunted, I think. And I don't think that they're where they don't have the hunting pressure. They're not as wily as the Eastern turkey, I don't think.
Okay.
In my experience.
Well, you
places,
yeah, you got to think the Eastern turkey's been hunted for decades, comparatively.
Right.
It's, I mean, they get wiser and wiser every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I know. I heard nothing today. I heard not a single gobble this morning.
Yes.
I caught a hen to me within 8 yards. I could have almost smacked her in the head with a barrel.
That's good.
Yeah.
Needed a gobbler behind her, though.
I was hoping, I was hoping that she kept. I mean, she matched me step for step there this morning. I'd cluck at her, she'd cluck back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, maybe she's got a gobbler with him in tow. She crested the little hill, and I waited and waited and waited, and she walked about 15, 20 yards away, nothing behind her, and
So he'd done been with her.
Yeah, he probably had his way.
Had his way earlier that morning.
It couldn't have been earlier.
You think he roosted with her?
I mean, if they'd have had to flew straight down together and been done within 10 minutes, because which I guess that's feasible.
Yeah, no, I guess so. You never know.
No, you don't.
So, Tom, we was before the podcast there, we were talking about a little spot there in Hiland that's real popular to people traveling through, the Bright Spot, little cafe and general store. Tell us about that. Is it still active, or is it out of business now?
It's been shut down for probably the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, we'd love for it to open back up. It's kind of the only place within, from Casper to Shoshone, which is 99 miles. That was the only place to get fuel, get a beer, get a burger, ice cream, or something like that. It's kind of a historical place, and there's been books written about it and everything like that. But no, it's closed at the moment, and we hope in the future that it will be opened up. I mean, so many hunters, a lot of guys from the Charleston area that's hunted with us. I mean, that was the go-to spot. We get antelope or elk or deer or something taken care of, and go down and get a burger and hang out and throw darts or shoot pool or do something like that. But no, it's a interesting place. It's worth Googling and reading the history on the place.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's started in 1923.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got some history.
Definitely, yeah.
Like
it's right there off of, I think it's 20 and 26.
Yeah. Yep. And, the thing in there's pictures from that time frame and a lot of stuff from the 40s up through the present day, big elk, local people taken, and just all kinds of, you can sit in there and look at pictures all day long and just be amazed at some of the stuff. So, a lot of history on the walls.
So the people that took over it there after the originators passed away or whatever happened there, it was the Stillmans.
Stillman, he ran it for years. He sold it in 2009, and then another local lady bought it and was running it, and she unexpectedly passed away here a few years ago. And it's just, once she passed away, it ran for a little bit and ended up closing until, somebody can come along and get it up and going again.
Yeah, see, I was just doing some research on things that we maybe could stop by on the way out there, and, they were talking about it. Now, here's a guy that had said something back in 2024, and this has got to be the same place, because it's saying it's 5365 West Highway, U.S. Highway 2026 in Hiland. But it said that they didn't give a good review. They said something about gas, double the price for gas, and next station was like 90 miles away.
Why the last gas station in Casper doesn't have a huge sign saying this is the last place you're buying fuel for 99 miles.
Yeah, that's what it said.
So that
somebody needs to put it there, because we're 50 miles from any fuel where our main camp is and where we live. We have fuel brought in bulk for our hunting outfit, but no, it's a lot of people get stranded on that 99 miles of road during tourist season. But
Man, that would
that's a shame
suck.
you guys aren't going to see the place, because where we're going to do your hunt is 3.5 hours kind of northeast of our main camp where I am right now. But
Okay.
we'll be close to Devil's Tower. You guys will be able to go see that. That's definitely worth the going and looking at. We're probably 15 miles south of Devil's Tower National Monuments where we'll be hunting.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did look that up today. That looks like a pretty sweet place. So, all right, we're going to take a break real quick. Hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back, Tom. This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Stick Tamer Bow Silencers. Are you a traditional archery hunter or shooter? Stick Tamer was specifically designed for the recurve shooter. Made of a hybrid foam rubber material, Stick Tamer is designed to deaden string slap and limb vibration. Stick Tamer reduces limb and string noise, water resistant, and lasts shot after shot. Made in the USA from a hybrid foam rubber for durability. To purchase Stick Tamer and for more information, visit 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. Stick Tamer bow silencers are available exclusively at 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. All right, guys, we're back with Tom Kessel from Hiland Outfitters in Hiland, Wyoming.
We are. So I got a pretty interesting salute this evening.
Yeah, let's do the salute to valor.
I don't have very much info. His military record really doesn't give you much information on it.
But interesting person.
Very. I'm sure you'll know the name as soon as I say it. So tonight's salute to valor is going to go out to Alan Alda.
Don't know it.
Yes, you do.
I'd know the face probably.
Well, I'll give you this. He starred on a 4-letter show. It run for about 11 years.
MASH. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And an interesting fact on that, which I might hit on them another day, at least I think it said at least 4 of the actors served.
Wow,
so that's
fitting.
how yeah, right. So that's how a lot of that show came about. He gave his expertise.
Well, I actually wondered that because my brother-in-law watches that. I mean, today,
I still
today.
watch it if it's on. I'll watch it.
And I was always like, I spend a lot of time down there in the summer, and I was like, I wonder if any of these guys ever served or they're just actors.
Yeah. So he was born into a performing family, so he had the acting gene from the get-go, basically, and he ended up serving his country during the Korean War. So he was a artillery officer. So he served during the time the heavy fighting during the Korean and Vietnam War. So he didn't directly experience any of that, but he was an artillery officer. He was in charge of the mess hall at one point and had to feed over 200 people 3 meals a day. So
Dang.
Yeah, that's the one you don't really ever want. you don't want to be K duty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so we appreciate his service and his long-standing television series MASH.
So is he still living?
Or
is this an honor?
I think this is an honor. I think he did pass away, actually.
He's probably in his 40s.
Because I think he was diagnosed. I know he was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say he's probably in his late 30s, early 40s when he was doing the show, I thought.
It's not saying on here, but I'm not sure.
All right, Tom. So you guys have been hunting in Texas a pretty good bit. How's those? That season down there's ended, or your all's session down there?
Yeah, we started out March 15th in the South Zone, and took 9 hunters there.
Nice.
We had 1 hunter not fire a shot. Some guys killed multiple birds. We actually had some guys from your neck of the woods there. Cameron and John Anderson from Summersville, they came down.
Nice.
So Cameron's 1 bird from his slam. Tim Hartwell from Charleston Fire Department came down. He had already hunted Osceola earlier this year, and he actually killed 2 birds his first day. So he's now he needs a Merriam, and it couldn't work out for him to get up this year, so he's coming next year. finish his slam up here. But
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
I think then we had a hunter from Delaware that he's chasing the 49. So
Oh, wow.
he killed his Rio with us. So now he's got 4 more birds. That was his 45th state. So I haven't heard from him. I know he was going to Louisiana and Missouri to try to get a couple more, but I haven't heard anything from him yet.
That's awesome. So, how's Texas regulations? Is that an all-day hunt there too, or are they kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could hunt all day. Yeah.
See, seems like a lot of these states are going to that now. Yeah. I think West Virginia needs to get with the times.
You guys made any connections in Florida yet?
I haven't. We've got enough on our plate.
He's like, we need some more guides.
There's you're probably the 10th person that's asked me that this year because everybody's still trying to get the slam. A lot of clients, and Terry and I both need a Florida bird. We've talked to some people off and on and trying to figure it out for ourselves to do it. But
right.
No, it's these guys that are die hard, and I want to do it too. I mean, it's kind of been on my bucket list for years. So
yeah, see that's
we've talked to a few people, a few different outfitters, and got some good leads on some guys, and mostly it's from our clients of who they've hunted with and who they like. So
that's good. Yeah. Yeah, Caleb's been down there, and he had
the problem with Florida is there's not that much public.
Well, I don't think that's the problem. Caleb says it's people.
Yeah. Well, everybody's trying to get
He says there's a ton of people. Lucas Doss and them, they've got a podcast, Turkey Creek Productions. They help us out with some of our short videos and things like that. And Caleb was getting interviewed by Lucas, and he was like, so how is Florida? Is it just overpopulated with birds? And he's like, no, it's overpopulated with people. So he was like, you got to try to stay away from the people and get fur enough out so you can, get on them birds and them swamps and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, quick question, because I was thinking if I kill one there this weekend coming, is Oklahoma's got Rios, correct?
I believe they do. Yes.
Okay. I thought so. So I might have to take a weekend while I'm out there out west because I'll be fairly close to Oklahoma. Find some.
Yeah, and after that, all you got is your
my Florida bird.
Florida bird.
Florida bird.
Florida bird.
Oh, Florida bird. And then I need my Mexican birds.
So you go try for the world.
Eventually, I will.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, obviously that's that's a goal for all of us, but for some,
the biggest one I would love to kill is a Gould's. I could just sit and dream about killing a Gould's. I think they're one of the most pretty birds out there.
So, Tom, have you eaten all of these birds we're talking about? Or do they all taste the same, or does anybody know? If you're out there listening, comment.
I think they do myself.
Yeah, tastes like turkey.
But to be honest with you, I'm not a big turkey eater. It's just,
really?
Whether it's wild or store bought, it's just one of the things I'm not big on. But no, but I've tried all of them, and I don't see a difference.
Okay. I've always wondered. We got some Osceola that Caleb gave us, and I got to clean that TSS out. I don't want to get that TSS in a tooth. You'll end up spending about $600 to get it replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, man. If you get shot like that in the breast, God, you basically got to cut it up into chunks and just do nuggets.
That's all I do.
You can't do a breast, like a whole breast in the oven or something.
I like the nuggets.
I mean, we've done whole breast. I love it like that, and slicing it. And, of course, you heavily season it with something,
sure.
like with basil or, oregano or something like that.
Garlic,
rosemary,
thyme, butter.
Thyme, Hunt Chef seasoning.
Now
that, I haven't fixed a whole
I did
wild turkey breast since we've had. But I did do.
I didn't do a wild one yet.
I did do the last wild one that I got with the taco stuff, and we done fajitas.
Fajitas.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh,
So
that's great.
I did a turkey for Thanksgiving. I ended up spatchcocking it. I don't think I'll ever cook one without spatchcocking it.
A turkey?
Yep. I'll never cook one.
I've heard of them doing that with chickens, but not turkey.
Oh yeah. I'll never cook one.
I guess you
any
do it
other
with any
way.
bird.
Yeah. But I used I used Big Sexy Beast, and I think all dusted up.
Well, you know,
Man,
we're just coming off Easter,
Good.
and a lot of people eat Easter. You know, for Easter they eat lamb.
Yeah, or ham.
Or ham.
Yeah, we had that too.
So I ate some lamb chops Saturday.
Yeah.
And I actually put the 10 ring on there.
Oh, okay.
And it specifically says it's for beef.
lamb. Well, you can.
But
his seasonings for anything.
you can use them really for anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, you kind of got to market them like that. So he markets it for beef. But just to tell you, if you've got it, it's good on lamb. And I've had it on pork, too.
Oh, yeah. I put it on pork. I got like 5 of them that's like my all-time go-tos. I can just live off of those 5.
So, Tom, we was talking there earlier today. I was asking you, and I've asked a couple other people. You know, the highest I think I've ever been is 4,900 feet in elevation, which is here in West Virginia. So, in that big elevation change, when we're going from, say, we're here in Cross Lanes, West Virginia, we're at 709 feet above sea level. So we go from here, and then you go up and down a little bit on your way out there. But once we get to Sundance, if we're right there in Sundance, I think they're like almost 5,000 feet. So how does that change work with most of the people you have out there, your clients?
You know, it's only a couple times have I had anybody get altitude sickness over all these years, because I mean, some of our elk we may be hunting at 8,000 feet, but most generally you will get winded a little bit quicker. Yeah. But then you recover. I mean, it's just thinner air. And then some guys, it doesn't even phase them. You know, what I've read and studied over the years is stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, and then
it helps.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, water helps everything.
Water helps everything.
That's the military's motto: drink water, drive on.
There you go.
But you know, right where we're hunting, we were out there hunting cats this winter. I think I looked at the GPS when it was like 3,800 is where we are. So
okay,
nice.
Right there. Then the birds, you know, we saw them the other day. They were down low, so they were probably at 3,000. So the camp's sitting right about 3. So we shouldn't have any issues, I wouldn't think, whatsoever.
I hear you.
Good deal.
So that's you can go up and down in elevation out there within a matter of minutes, where there's so many.
Oh yeah.
You know, high mountainous terrain and stuff like that. So
this will be Mike's first trip out there. Tell him what to expect on the amount of antelope he'll try to count.
Well, when we pulled in there the other day, I noticed there's two or three bucks up tall in some fields there. The population up there is pretty well. It's not as good as it is down here in Hiland. I mean, I'm sitting in the living room of the camp, and I'm sure if I looked out the window, I could see 20 across the road. So
really,
but this place has got some mule deer on it, some whitetail. You'll definitely see it. I know when we came back through Nebraska about 10 days ago, it was phenomenal seeing all the turkeys out strutting in the fields.
Yeah,
along I-80.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you'll be counting birds on the way out too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
I know the last time I drove through Wyoming, I got sick of counting. I just started guesstimating. Oh, well, there's 40 of them in that bunch of antelope. There's 20 in that section there, you know.
Yep. I'm sure that's the way it'll be. But we're excited. I mean, this is going to be a first for me coming that far west. The furthest I've been is Oklahoma. So this is it's going to be a good trip.
Yep. Then it's in the Black Hills, big ponderosa pines, beautiful country. You're going to fall in love with the scenery where we're hunting for sure.
Yeah. And that's me. Dan's the hunter here. And I enjoy just visiting these places and taking pictures. Don't get me wrong. I love to hunt, but it's just as enjoyable for me to see this, God's creation and just experience it. I mean, as a first time being out there and just seeing those things, you're going to see me like a little kid in the candy store. So I'll be taking tons of pictures. I'll be taking tons of video. Dan always gets on me. He's like, "Can we hunt? Or are you going to take pictures all day?"
Well, the sad part about it, he's fixing his hair and making sure
I am not.
beard's right for
I
the
am not.
camera. It's
Most of the time, we're taking pictures of game calls. I'm like, we own a game call business. We've got to market this stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, but no, it just comes with the territory. I mean, we love it. So, Tom, we thank you for coming on this evening.
Thank you, guys. Looking forward to seeing you here in a couple of days and getting after some birds. We're kind of got all of our gear loaded up, head up tomorrow and have camp set up, and we'll meet you guys on the 24th, and you can follow us into camp and we'll get after it.
Sounds like a plan. I'm excited.
Have to take a picture of Dan there purchasing his license. Tell everybody where they can get their license there in that area when they come in there and hunt with you guys.
There's a couple different stores there, hardware, kind of a gun store type place there. Then there's a filling station there where we can go in and get your licenses and get that taken care of. Then we're about 20 minutes to camp at the most.
Nice. It's going to be nice to do it the old way.
Oh, yeah.
Go into the gas station
Yep.
and get your license right there instead of having to get on a computer or call somebody on the phone.
Well, we can still do that here.
I know,
Several places.
You know, it's few and far in between.
Most people don't do it anymore.
And when you got a place out there where you're coming from, you know, they're 4 hours, you know, I guess it'd be northeast of Hiland.
Yeah.
But Hiland's only got like what y'all got, 12 people?
I'm trying to think real quick. I think we're down to about 8.
Yep. So it's a good place to be if you want to just get away from people.
That's awesome.
That's the truth there.
Yep. All right, Tom. We sure appreciate you, buddy, and we'll see you in a couple days.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys for having me and safe travels.
All right,
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening this evening, and thanks for watching our live. We'll have all the links that we talked about on this evening's podcast in the description once this episode airs. Guys, don't forget to check out Nature's Voice Game Calls. .com to use podcast 15 at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Thanks, guys.
This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Carts Towing and Timco Auto Transport. Local and long-distance towing, auto recovery, roadside assistance, auto lockouts, and jump starts. And they also do repossessions. Give them a call today at 304-949-2323 or 304-925-0858. Again, that's Carts Towing and Timco Auto Transport, 304-949-2323, 304-925-0858.